Hello, Instagram, Facebook, YouTubers. So I've been doing little stories on my Facebook and my Instagram, and people, especially my sister, Linda Elves, keeps telling me, you need to post videos on YouTube. You need to do the YouTube. So this is going to be my first YouTube. Little background history on me. My first degree was in animal science. Second degree was criminal justice. And my third now, biochemistry. So, just want to touch base on the coronavirus because there's a lot of misinformation. I get all my information from doctors. My friends are doctors. My ex-boyfriends are doctors. We still stay in contact. We talk every day. So all my stuff is backed by science and by medical doctors, okay, people that have PhDs in education in this. So this is not my personal opinion or anything like that. I mean, I do add that in, but I will tell you when it is my personal opinion. The coronavirus. So my girlfriend's a nurse. One of my girlfriends is a nurse, and a few other of my friends are doctors. But I've had two of my friends that are doctors, and one of them that's a nurse that has confirmed that people have been dying, of course, in the hospital from the coronavirus, but there are also regular people that die, people that have heart problems and, heart attacks and kidney failure and so forth, right? Those people are being tagged as coronavirus patients, okay? So when they die, the doctor has to write out a certificate of death, and on the certificate of death has to put what they died of. And these people are not even tested for coronavirus, but they're putting down coronavirus because that's what they're told to do. So they're doing that. Now, I know that for a fact because I've had two doctors confirm it, and my girlfriend is a nurse that confirmed it, okay? I spoke to one of my other doctors that he doesn't do anything political, he doesn't talk, he doesn't come out, but he does tell me information. He told me on his end they do that only because they may have, even though they're in the hospital for kidney failure or whatever, they may have symptoms that are really close to the coronavirus. So that's why they just label them coronavirus. So if you haven't noticed, since this has been happening, heart attacks, heart diseases, flu, ammonia, all went down. How can that be? How can every year it's the same amount of numbers that die, or close to around the same, or sometimes higher, sometimes lower, and all of a sudden this year they're completely dramatically down because we're tagging them as corona patients? You're probably asking, why would they do that? That doesn't make sense, right? Well, Big Pharma. Let's talk about Big Pharma. So this is going to kill any chances of me ever probably progressing in biomedical at this point. I also am or was a certified dietitian and nutritionist. That's why when I say was, it's because you're supposed to keep up on it, and I really haven't because I don't really do any of that anymore. My main focus is science. So anyways, so let's get back to Big Pharma. So Big Pharma, for those who don't, is the pharmaceutical company. Okay, they make the most money in the entire world. Okay, right now, a lot of their drugs that they're trying to pass has so many side effects that the FDA is not approving them. Okay, so the people that actually let me actually continue with that. So anyway, so then the FDA is like, hey, sorry, there's too many side effects, for this drug, and we're not going to pass it. So pharmaceutical companies are kind of not making a lot of money because they just can't get drugs out there fast enough to keep their pockets full. I mean, trust me, they have tons of money, but they need more money because they're greedy, right? Greed equals greed, green. Anyways, so what they decided to do is they decided to scare the shit out of everybody, okay? Everybody about this corona. Yeah, does the coronavirus exist? 100%. Can it be deathly ill? 100%. I'm not denying that at all. Also remember, I'm not a medical doctor, so just so you know, I'm only telling you what's passed on by my knowledge that I know because of being in the pharmaceutical world, and then, or was in the pharmaceutical world because I got laid off February 3rd. Anyways, when was it? Anyways, that doesn't matter. So that, oh man, it's so corrupt. People just don't know. Falling back on the pharmaceutical company, so their pockets are deep, and they just want to keep stuffing money in them. So they put this huge scare, like, oh, this coronavirus is going to kill you. You can't go outside. You got to be quarantined. And everybody thinks like, oh, it's, this is all about to keep Donald Trump out of office. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It's way, way bigger than that. And I don't know why nobody can see this. Maybe because people are not educating in the pharmaceutical world. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. And there's a lot of people are sheeps. They just believe everything in the media says. So it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It's bigger than that, because if it was just Donald Trump, it would just be the U.S. But we have lockdown in Germany, we have lockdown in Paris, we have lockdown in Italy, in Iran, Iran, excuse me, I pronounced it wrong. But we have it everywhere. So it's global, okay? So they're going to scare the shit out of everybody, to the point where everybody's buying a bunch of medical masks everywhere. And they're doing all this crazy quarantine shit and so forth. And they're buying up tons of vitamins and helping the pharmaceutical world and paying more shit. So listen, stop. You guys really need to stop and listen to this and share this if you can. Of course you can. It's your choice to share it or not. It's your choice to get the word out. It's your choice to believe me or not, okay? But they created this huge pandemic scare. The flu kills more people, okay? Where are they at when the flu's killing thousands of people every year? Nowhere, because they have a flu vaccine. They can't scare you with the flu. We already have a flu vaccine. But we don't have a vaccine for the coronavirus, so we're going to scare the shit out of you. To the point where we are going to create a cure, right? Bill Gates, the Hillary Clinton administration, the big pharma is all come to save you, right? This was save you. But you're already saved, but you don't even know it yet. But anyways, they're going to come save you with a vaccine, okay? Now, how do you make money really, really fast in the pharmaceutical world? A vaccine. How do you create long-term wealth in the pharmaceutical world? Guess? Well, you don't issue vaccines. For example, I have cancer, and we know all our biochemists have already created a cure for cancer a long time ago. But if I sell a vaccine, or a shot, or a preventative, or pills, or whatever you want to administrate something that will prevent cancer, okay? You're not going to make much money off that, because you make more money off of cancer patients, because the chemotherapy, I think the average, I can't remember the number, but it was like $5 million or $5 billion. I'll get back to you on this, like the actual numbers of how much money the pharmaceutical market makes off of cancer patients alone, because the chemotherapy and just the cancer drugs are so retarded expensive, and taxpayers came out of their, not too much taxpayers, but people that had chemotherapy, they came out of their pockets like $4 or $5 million in 1 year or something. It was insane. So, or billion. Like I said, I'll get back on the statistics on those numbers. Or you could actually Google it. You could actually Google it yourself and look it up. But I'm not talking out of my ass. We're talking lots of money that people came out of their pocket. Can you imagine what the insurance companies paid? A lot more. So they're not going to make, they're going to make more money off the treatment than they are the cure. But for this, it's just a virus, right? It's just like kind of like a flu virus. Kinda, not really. This is tax. Well, anyways, we'll get into that later, another video. So they're going to make a vaccine that's going to save us, and they're going to mandate it. They're going to mandate vaccines, okay? That's really quick money. I mean, Denmark, I think, has already passed a law they said once this, I'm pretty sure, you can probably Google this, but I'm pretty sure someone told me that Denmark, I believe a doctor said this, said that they're mandating people to take the coronavirus vaccine when it comes out. I believe that Denmark already passed that law, and the vaccine hasn't even came out yet. So anyways, so they're going to make fast money off this vaccine, and it's going to put trillions of dollars into the big pharma pockets. Now, what they do is Pharma, pretty much owns everything for the most part. But they create the fear with the coronavirus, then they create the vaccine, and then they push and mandate vaccines. So what they do is they create the problem, and then they offer you the solution. Just like that's what the government does. They create a problem and they offer the solution, like 9/11, for example. But that's another story too. Anyways, so did you know that a lot of viruses and bacteria can all be prevented? I'm not sure if you guys know that. But I mean, I brought my vitamins out because I kind of want to go over that with you guys. You could actually, there's a lot of doctors on this Facebook called Common Sense Health. You can add, and they'll add you as a member. It's all doctors on there expressing like common sense shit that people, they don't tell out in the general public, because big pharma wants you to buy their vaccines and wants you to get sick, so they put money in your pocket. But I'm going to tell you that you don't have to be sick. Zinc is great for a preventative for your immune system. Vitamin C, I don't prefer the chewables. I actually like powdered, like real powdered vitamin C, and add that in with like tea and stuff. I only got this because at the store it was out of regular vitamin C. Anyways, I always take iron, lysine. I mean, this is like, it's amino acid, but it's also for tissue. But actually, I'll just go over what to boost your immune system, so we don't have to go through all of this. Echinacea helps boost the immune system, okay? Zinc helps boost the immune system. Acacia? I don't know, there's so many different pronunciations from this, but this helps boost the immune system. Acai. I mean, that's how I always said it, acai. D3, vitamin E. I get the gels, if you can. I always get the gel liquids. B12. All your B vitamins are very essential. Cranberry is really good for the kidneys. I have a kidney infection currently, so I make sure that I'm trying to up my cranberry. This is another one that's really good for the immune system. These are chewable tabs. They didn't have the regular tabs, but chewable's good. And so, and then there's a thing called Quincy, Quinine. I believe that's how you spell it. And then there's Dr. Solstice Super Tonic Water. You just drop it into any drink or in your mouth, and that's amazing immune booster. So these things can really help you on times like this. You should always be taking it anyways, just to keep your immune system at top notch, firing all cylinders. I'd like to say. So anyway, so that's that. But everybody, like doctors don't really do a lot of research into immune system, believe it or not, and they don't really know anything much about diets and nutritional. That's not something that's really in their field of interest. So I mean, they do learn a little bit that in med school. This is what I was told. I asked my friends that are doctors. I'm like, because all my friends that are doctors always come to me for nutritional advice, and I'm like, I always tell them, I'm like, why are you coming to me for nutritional advice? You're a doctor. You should know this. And they're like, well, we don't study this. So it's like, wow, what? You don't study this? How do you not study this? Like, this is essential to keep someone healthy. By the time you get to the doctors, it's kind of too late, right? You're already sick. I mean, that's the whole reason you go to the doctors, right? So I'm trying to prevent you from going to the doctors. But if doctors were actually trained in and study the immune system profusely, we could prevent all this. And then we could cure a lot of things. But, you know, the US government, you can't cure anything unless it's a drug. Did you know that? It is illegal and against the law, and you could be sued and in prison if you go on and say, hey, I cured your cancer with vitamin C. I'm not saying that vitamin C kills cancer, just so you know. But I'm just giving you an example, right? Say that you have a problem, and I tell you as a nutritionist, like, you should take this and take these vitamins, and it'll help you prevent that, and or maybe you won't have that anymore. It is illegal for me to say, oh, I killed your rosacea with this supplement. That is illegal. You cannot say that. It can only have to be a pharmaceutical drug. So, I don't know if you guys know that. Oh, this thing is wobbly. Anyways, coronavirus is fear-mongering by deep state, and it will go down in history. Like, in history, is the biggest fraud ever. And if you don't see that, I don't know how else I'm going to tell you. But it manipulates economies. It suppresses and pushes mandated vaccine. I mean, that's what this is all about. This is why the whole world's crumbling right now, is because it's all about money. It's all about money. Big ag, big pharma, they're making money because they're... So back to the FDA. So this is some shit you guys probably don't know. My friend works for the FDA. Okay, so he's the one that actually okays drugs. Hey, okay, that drug is okay to be passed. Listen to this shit. This is gonna blow your mind.